Another huge part. And then the plant breeding is an increasingly significant part of what we're doing. And, we collect seeds from all over the world and all over the country. And as we breed new varieties, something that makes our program different is that we don't patent anything. The stuff we breed here and we release, people can do what they want with it. It's like the third leg of the open source seed philosophy. We're collecting seed, we're distributing seed, and we're also developing new varieties that we, release to the public, and they do what they want with them. So when you look at a plant, the phenotype you see, that a flower, a fruit, whatever it might be, it's controlled by the developmental stage of that plant. It's controlled by the environment, and then it's controlled by the genetics. So all the greenhouses, all of that, we're controlling the environment. Even just fertilizing, keeping the weeds back, that's all controlling the environment. When we are breeding, we are manipulating that third aspect, and we're honing the genetics to produce and reliably produce what we're after.
How many years did you put into the process of honing the genetics?
That's a good question. He was asking how long it takes. It depends on the crop. Some crops are self-pollinating, like tomatoes. It makes them real easy because once we found what we wanted, they just self-pollinate, and you keep saving seed for a few generations, and you select, and it doesn't take too long. We can put our heads in here. These are one of the heated greenhouses. It doesn't take too long for something like a tomato to become homozygous, to become stable. We can sell it as a pollinated plant. Usually it takes 5 or 6 generations. So to answer your question, 5 or 6 years, sometimes 7 is typical, but some crops are a lot harder to work with, so they take longer. We do try to grow like several generations in a year if we can, and that speeds up the process. You can see the bumblebee hives back there, pollination. But it'd be nice if we did.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
We have enough natural pollinators.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
There's bumblebees right there.
There are a lot. What's that?
Where are the bumblebees?
It's that little green box.
Just a little box?
Yep.
You just buy the bumblebees and
It's a hot, yep. You can buy the whole hive. No.
Bumblebees like going towards the ground more versus
Yeah.
very boxes with frames. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks just like the cucumber I'm growing.
What's that?
That looks just like the cucumber I grow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I grow Sweet Success.
Okay.
And I've had,
Yeah, you can go in.
I've had it in a clean one for about 5 years now.
Really? It does well for you.
Yeah.
That's great.
I always look for the longest and the straightest and the biggest around.
Oh, wow. They turn yellow when they get...
Yep.
Yeah.
I got one in the pickup if you want to see it.
Oh, really? You should put it on the display tent and label it.
Some submissions.
Somebody might take it away on me.
So, there's still some stuff on the ground because they were harvesting in here. But this stuff will go into winter. And during the winter, we don't heat these real hot. Maybe 40 degrees or so. Just enough to keep everything from freezing. not these ones. What's that?
Have some circulation going.
Yeah, we do.
This is the second year I'm trying to grow peats for seed.
Oh, really? Wow. You have to overwinter them and then they seed. Yeah. I'm not sure what's in this one.
Cabbage.
Okay, more cabbage. Yeah. Wheat, sunflowers.
Look like
A lot of it's trials.
these aren't for winter.
The green beans will not go through the whole winter, no. They'll go into the winter a little ways, but the main stuff will overwinter is like all the brassicas. Kale does well. Leeks do well too.
Leeks.
Yeah.
They will, won't they?
Yeah.
Do you guys donate food anywhere?
You know, we do sometimes. So like the excess food, some of it goes to the restaurant, and some of it the cattle eat, some of it the employees take home. And then sometimes people will come and take extra, but you know, we have a limited team, and if we have too much, just call it. You know, but employees take home a lot, and we're not peppers. Those on the right, those are sunflowers. Yeah. What's the rest of this then? Those are stalk flowers. Stalks.
Never
Yeah.
heard of them.
You'll see them in the catalog. They're a cool season type of brassica, but they produce a beautiful, almost like a snapdragon. Beautiful tall column of flowers. They've got white, pinks, and they're edible, the pink flowers. Yeah. So with the plant breeding we're doing here, there's three main types of breeding work. So some of it just boils down to selection. You know, like if we grow out like a couple years ago, we grew almost this whole field in zinnias, a whole bunch of different zinnia types, and out of that field, we found a couple flowers that were really unique. Like one of them had like a tubular petal. If you picture each petal being a trumpet, that's what it looks like. These tubes radiating out. Another one had a divided petal where the petal like was forked at the end. And so we've selected those lines, and it's something that we're growing out year after year and slowly developing a new variety that has those traits. So that was just like the most basic form of plant breeding, just selecting interesting plants, saving seeds from those, and developing a new line. The next step up from that is simple crossbreeding, where you pick parent A, you pick parent B. You will have a trait usually in each parent that you want to combine. And for example, you might have a super sweet tomato and you might have another black tomato, and you want to combine those traits so you have a super sweet black tomato. If you cross those parents and then sort through the grandchildren like you saw we're doing up there, that is another class. That's considered classical plant breeding at its most basic form, where you're picking parents, you're crossing those parents, you're growing out the offspring and then the grandchildren, which would be the F2, and selecting for new lines from that. The part that I get super excited about, that I really enjoy, is the next step up even from that, and it's still classical plant breeding, but it's more technical, and that is where you take two different species of plants. Say let me give you an example. You'll take like an arugula, like the salad green, and you'll take a bok choy. They're both in the brassica family, but they're different species. And you will cross those two different species. Now the methods you use are the same. You're still collecting pollen from one and pollinating the other. But it gets a lot more difficult because you're crossing species barriers. It's a lot harder to get seed. And sometimes when you do get seed, those plants will be like a mule. They won't reproduce, so it's a dead end. So that is something that gets me really excited, because even though it's hard, there's a lot of potential. You can bring in genetics into a crop that may not have been there at all previously. And we've been doing this with the example I gave you with arugula and bok choy. We have a red bok choy, beautiful red bok choy. And this last spring we crossed that with arugula. It was quite a process, hard to do. And now what we're doing is sorting through the generations with the goal of releasing a truly red version of arugula, which you can't get anywhere. Like it doesn't exist, at least to our knowledge. And we've scoured a lot of sources. So that's the potential of crossing these species barriers. You can actually come up with stuff that like isn't anywhere available in the world, potentially. And so it gets really exciting. It's also really hard to do. But the thing that, some people say, oh, is that genetic engineering? And Kyle could explain more about this. But genetic engineering is something very different, because genetic engineering, you are actually going at the DNA level. Yeah, we'll go right through here and I'll let you back in the gate. With genetic engineering, you are working at the DNA level. You're basically inserting your own foreign DNA from whatever organism you may be picking that from. And it's entirely bypassing the natural sexual process. What we're doing, we're still utilizing the natural sexual process. We're bringing in the pollen. We are generating the hybrids in a classical way. But since we're breaking through the species barriers, we're able to generate stuff that's very hard to get otherwise.
So have you gotten any red ones of arugula?
Yeah, we're growing it right now. So we grew the F1s this spring, and we're growing the second generation right now.
Have you?
Yeah. Yep, but sometimes you have to do like sometimes you have to do rescue on those hybrid plants and grow them in vitro in nutrient solution, because they're so fragile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried?
It is. It's cool.
Have you tried a watermelon and a cantaloupe?
I have not tried those two. Yeah, I have not. I'd have to look into the research, because I'm sure someone has. But yeah.
Where's your lab? Thank you.
We just do it here on site. There's a little building down here, and it's just really like straightforward. All we have is a microscope and a little fume hood or a little laminar flow hood that like gives us a sterile workspace. Because all you need is a sterile workspace, because whenever you're putting stuff into tissue culture, you can't have any bacteria, anything in there. So you have to have a sterile workspace, and then sterile procedure, and the right nutrients and all. It's not, it's technical, but if you have some basic equipment, it's doable. So yeah, thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you.
More tours later on today if you want to go that direction. Appreciate it.